Playmakers, how's it going? This is Coach Wood, and I hope you're ready, baby, because we've got another amazing episode of the Weekday Huddle. This is the Before You Go Pro channel where it goes down. And in this episode, you guys, I'm going to talk about one of my bigger regrets during my career and ask you guys some questions about how you think I should have handled some things. But before we get into that, ladies and gentlemen, make sure that you hit that subscribe button. We are curating an amazing community, you guys, of football players, football families, coaches, and fans out there that are really helping us grow this community. So if you have not already hit that subscribe button, please consider hitting that subscribe button. Also, please consider telling as many people as you possibly can about the Before You Go Pro channel and the Weekday Huddle, you guys. We're doing this organically, and we truly appreciate you guys' support. Also, if you are a young football player, a family member of a football player, check out the resources. Check out the resources that we have for you down in the description box, baby. But let's get into today's topic. Once again, this is the Weekday Huddle. It's not meant to take long, but it is meant to be strong. We get in the huddle, we get out, and then we go execute, all right? This is to get after it. This is meant for the audience that wants to get after it in this industry. So we work with football players across the country, you guys. So we're always trying to impart some knowledge, some guidance, some food for thought for our athletes. And many times I'm drawing on experiences that I've had, or my team members have had, or the athletes that we work with have had. And one thing that's been on my mind heavy, it's been on my mind heavy because I know a lot of young men that play football fall into this bucket. And I want to ask you guys, the Weekday Huddle audience, your opinion on this as well. But do you need to have all your eggs in one basket to go to the top of the football industry? Do you need to have all your eggs in one basket, the football basket? I'm a football lifer, so I put all my eggs in the football basket, you guys. Sometimes it served me, sometimes it didn't. But what's your opinion? Does an athlete that wants to get to the top of the football industry, now he's making NIL money, and he's factored in big time to the college football landscape, or maybe even go pro and go to the NFL and see his name called on draft day and put on that hat and walk across that stage, or have a big fanfare at his home. Do you need to put all your eggs in one basket to make that happen? What's you guys' opinion on that? Because I know how I rolled. I know how my career went, you guys. And for me personally, it was all my eggs in one basket. I knew at a very young age, probably around 7, 8 years old, that I really wanted to make this a real thing. I was playing earlier than that. I started with flag football, and then I started tackle football at 9 years old. We have athletes that we work with, and there's athletes that I talk to all the time that are starting even younger than that. They're starting even younger than that, you guys, the 5s and the 6-year-olds, especially when you go down south and talk to some of these families. So once an athlete knows, once a young man knows that, hey, I'm trying to take this thing to the top. I want a big time scholarship offer. I don't want to have to pay for college, or very minimal. And then I'm trying to put all my eggs in one basket to go to the pros. Is that the only way to do it? Now, I know there's anomalies. Like Josh Dobbs, who is at Tennessee, and I think he's still in the NFL as a quarterback. I mean, he's like an aerospace scientist or something like that. A dear friend of mine, Donald Strickland, he's also got an engineering degree at the University of Colorado. So there are very exceptional young men that can do both. That can make it to the league and also get what they're looking for on the academic side as well. But or entrepreneurial side. But in your opinion, for the 90 so odd percent of us that aren't as exceptional, does it have to be one or the other? Does it have to be one or the other? Is there a way for me as a young athlete to be on track to play big time college football and to potentially be drafted, and also scrape the play off the field? And when I say scrape the play off the field, I mean you're building relationships. I mean that you have great grades. I mean that you're being strategic for your future if for some reason football doesn't work out. Or in your opinion, is it no? Is it like, hey, you're playing at Ohio State, buddy. You're playing at Florida State. You're playing at USC. That is your degree. That is your major. You need to put all your eggs in that basket if you're going to come out cream of the crop in such a competitive, pressure-filled environment. Do you think that college football at the highest level has gotten to a point where it's so pressure packed that an athlete has to primarily solely focus on that? Solely focus on that. Or do you think that a large percentage of these athletes are underplaying what they can accomplish and they need to be higher level academically and also socially and also creating opportunities for their future? Do you think that they can handle it? Or do you have another angle that they could take to it where maybe you've got advice or you've got an idea on how they can have both? How they can have both and maybe leverage relationships with family members or friends to make sure that they have both. What is your true opinion? You young athletes out there that are watching this, I know obviously you have to have decent grades. I had to have decent grades to be able to get a full ride scholarship to the University of Colorado. I had to have decent grades to be able to stay on the field once I got there and stay academically eligible. But to be honest with you, I put all my eggs in one basket and I felt like I had to. I felt like the competition was so fierce for playing time at the University of Colorado when I was there. I felt like the competition to get the goal and the dream that I really wanted, which to play in the NFL, was so fierce that I had to put all my eggs in the football basket. When I'm looking at the hours in a day, do I want to allocate more to building relationships? Do I want to allocate more to my academics? Or do I want to allocate more to my dream of football? In my case, I chose my dream of football. Now, where I also went wrong is I allocated way too much time to the partying and the football player ego lifestyle. I took some of my time from that academic and from that relationship building opportunities probably and put a little bit more into the social side. Now, luckily, I was a guy that got along with everybody. So I was able to still build relationships that have served me after football. But I kind of got that by default. That was mindless, being a cool dude who guys got around with and got along with, and it ended up serving me. But what if I would have consciously what if I would have consciously been building relationships? What if I would have consciously been building relationships outside of the athletic facility? Maybe with some of the professors, maybe with some of the local business owners or community leaders. Is that possible? Is that possible for most of us to be at the top of, I was in the Big 12 at the time, at the top of the Big 12 conference, but also be a master networker, a master in the classroom? Is it possible? Does a football player, especially with today, they're paying you, $100,000, $500,000, $1 million. Jordan Seaton's going off to LSU from my alma mater, getting paid a couple $1 million. Should all of his eggs be in the, hey, I'm going to be the best lineman in the country basket? Or do you think that he should and does have time to make sure he's optimized in the classroom and make sure that he's making as many relationships as he possibly can on the campus at LSU? Is it possible? Is it even something he should be thinking about? Because once again, he's getting paid a lot of money, and in Death Valley, where Friday, Saturday nights, that stadium is going to be packed. They're not going to care how much he has networked around campus. They're not going to care if his GPA is 3.0 or 3.8. They're going to care if he protects Sam Levitt and he protects the wins and losses on their schedule. That's what they're going to care about. So should these athletes even put any eggs in any other basket? If they are trying to put eggs in any other basket, are they fooling themselves? Should it be all or nothing on the high level dream and the high level responsibilities that they have? Because once again, if it's Ohio State versus Michigan and you're on the field and you're fighting for a college playoff spot, nobody's going to ask you what your GPA is if you drop the game-winning touchdown. They're not going to say, oh, but he had a 3.8, or oh, but he networked with 50 people last week. So how should these athletes play it? How should these athletes play it? Once again, in Coach Wood's case, I put way too many baskets in the eggs in the football basket. I put way too many eggs and attention to being the man socially. I do think that an athlete that makes it to a high level of athletic competition can also, most of them, show up high level off the field, whether it's academically or just in the community. I think that they can do both. It takes a little bit more attention to detail, and you're pretty much not going to have any social life. A lot of you young athletes out there, you seeing the Instagram pictures and the TikToks, and you're seeing these guys do things. Those probably aren't the high-level guys. The high-level guys that I played with in college and been around, you didn't really see them out too much, especially if they were high level both. They were high level off the field and they were high level on the field. You didn't really see them out too much. So there's sacrifice. There's sacrifice, if you want to spread your eggs out, there's going to be sacrifice somewhere. All right. But, in my case, I put all my eggs in one basket, and when you don't make the omelet, when the omelet doesn't come out right, and you have to find your way. If you don't go to the NFL, it gets tough. It gets tough, especially if you didn't put enough attention in other areas that can kind of soften that blow, you guys. So, this is where I started when I didn't get drafted. I played a little bit in Canada, Arena Football League, but I always hold on to this because that's where I started for you young athletes out there. So in my opinion, you need to be savvy enough, you need to be mindful enough, you need to be tough and gritty enough to figure it out outside of football as well. A lot of you guys are going to multi-million-dollar universities. A couple of you guys might be on a $1 billion campus. You talk about a Michigan, a Notre Dame, a Texas, a $1 billion campus. Do not leave that campus with just football. Do not leave that campus and you can say the only thing you did was catch a couple touchdowns, because then you missed the whole boat. All right. And you end up starting off figuring things out somewhere like there, the Holiday Inn Express. All right. So Hopefully you guys are mindful of that. You take it to the bank. This is the Weekday Huddle, baby. So we're always trying to give you guys something to think about. All right. And my question to you is, hey, if you get a scholarship, full ride scholarship, a little bit of NIL money to go play at Tennessee, does that mean that's it? Does that mean that is your sole focus? Does that mean that you have to put all your eggs in the basket of performing at a high level at Tennessee? It may mean that. It may be that high level that you have to do that. It may not. You guys tell me. All right. So I'm Coach Wood. Hopefully you guys are well today. Go tell a friend. Go tell a friend about this channel. We produce a lot of content to serve the football families out there. All right. So hit that subscribe button. Check out those resources down in the description box. And I'll see you tomorrow in the huddle, baby. Have a good one.